I am Larry O'Connor alongside Brian Wilson.
We're going to get into the Virginia governor's race in just a few moments, but we are pleased to be joined by Mark Obenshain, the man who wants to be the Attorney General of the Commonwealth of Virginia. He is a Republican running for that seat, and we'll start with the burning question of the day. Mr. Obenshain, your favorite Halloween candy?
You know, it's easy. Reese's Cups.
All right.
There you go.
I'm giving up because
he is a man of the people.
You've given me a piece of paper that said that last year, by and large, when people voted with their dollars, they bought Reese's peanut butter.
By and large. Look at how you're still trying to equivocate here, Wilson.
Yeah,
it's
right.
just Reese's wins.
All right, so, Mr. Obenshain, that silliness aside, let's talk about the race, very serious race. I noticed that you're getting a lot of attention from Planned Parenthood. What's up with that?
You know, it's that and Mayor Bloomberg. I figure that I'm doing pretty well right now, which I guess is evidenced by the amount of money coming in from outside the state and some of the crazy attacks that are being made. You know, early on there was maybe a grain of truth to some of these attacks. Now they've just abandoned even that last grain of truth, and they're rolling in and rolling big dollars in to try and attack me.
Do you have the funds to counteract the message that's being thrown at you here at the last minute?
You bet. We are up. We're on TV. We're on radio. We are fighting hard and are going to continue until 7 p.m. on Tuesday the 5th.
Now, the man you would like to replace, Ken Cuccinelli, of course, is running for governor. He was the Attorney General and really made a name for himself pushing back hard. The first one out of the gate pushing back against Obamacare. You've seen what's happened here over the last 31 days with the rollout of the program, not just with the problems with the website, but also people losing their health care left and right. As Attorney General, how would you pick up that torch that Ken Cuccinelli has left for you and continue to fight for the people of Virginia?
Well, you know, there are things that come out of Washington that we can do something about, some we can't do anything about. Washington's got to fix itself, first of all. But, you know, with every new set of regulations concerning Obamacare, it offers opportunities for us to look at where they are complying with the law and where they're not complying with the law. It's a tragedy seeing all of the Virginians and all of the Americans, 11 million at last count that I saw, who have lost their health insurance as a result of the mandate of the Affordable Care Act, and countless others who have gotten sticker shock as a result of the increased premiums that they're receiving. You know, that's what comes with the guarantee of universal care. It's a promise that is an empty promise, and with every new regulation that comes out, we need an Attorney General who is willing to look at those sets of final regulations line by line, paragraph by paragraph, page by page, and make sure that they are not crossing the line, violating the Affordable Care Act, violating our Constitution, and make sure that we're standing up and ready to work for Virginians. And that's what I'm prepared to do.
And has your opponent gone on the record about his position on Obamacare? Has he criticized what Mr. Cuccinelli did in fighting it?
Oh, no. He has criticized the fight against Obamacare.
Yeah.
And seems to think that we need a Washington-style Attorney General in Virginia. I happen to think it's best to keep Eric Holder on the other side, with due respect, your side of the Potomac, and that we have an Attorney General in Virginia who's willing to stand up for Virginians.
Well, you may have to work with a Democratic governor. I mean, we look at the polls. You can draw your own conclusion, although the polls are all over the place right now. Are you prepared to do that? And how important is it to have a counterbalance to a Democratic governor?
Well, first of all, you know, Election Day is Tuesday, and we'll see what happens on Tuesday. You know, we elect a governor, lieutenant governor, attorney general independently, and, you know, whether it's a Republican attorney general, Democrat attorney general, they've got to work with the governor, whichever party he is. And, you know, as a lawyer, I work with clients every day. And some of my clients I get along with better than other clients. But, you know, I'm going to give the same good legal advice no matter what. And my advice doesn't change on the basis of who occupies the governor's mansion. It's going to be advice that's based on the law.
So that sounds like a pledge to follow the law and not let politics enter to the discussion.
Well, you know, I've practiced law for 26 years. I've been in the General Assembly for 10. Every year when I leave Richmond, I stop making those policy choices. I can't go back home and tell my clients, I like that law or I don't like that law. Don't worry about the ones that I don't like. Don't comply with them. I have to tell my clients what the law is and help them comply with the law. And that's what I'm going to do as Attorney General.
Mark Obenshain is our guest, of course, a member of the Senate in Virginia from Harrisonburg, and he's also the Republican nominee for Attorney General. Election Day is coming up next Tuesday, Mr. Obenshain, and I want to talk about guns because we mentioned Mike Bloomberg. We mentioned that Bloomberg money coming into the Commonwealth of Virginia, and it's all about guns. What are you willing to pledge right now with regard to the Second Amendment and Virginians' right to bear?
Well, look, I'm an advocate for Virginian Second Amendment rights. Some of these commercials that are airing are just absolutely ridiculous. I mean, they suggest
that you're on the side of a mass murderer.
Well, they say that I oppose background checks. You know what? We've got a very good background check system in Virginia, and we've worked hard to make it better. You know, we know what Universal has done for universal health care. I mean, it just we need to make sure that our background checks are efficient, that they're effective, and I support comprehensive background checks, and the NRA supports those. We have made big progress over the course of the past 10 years in keeping the guns out of the hands of convicted criminals and those who are mentally ill. We need to continue to make progress along those lines.
We know where Terry McAuliffe stands. He's on board with a lot of the things that Governor O'Malley has done across the river. We hear from Northern Virginians all the time saying, we don't want to be the next Maryland. Are you willing to fight the fight if you have to about the limits on the size of a magazine and about these so-called assault weapons that Terry McAuliffe wants to ban?
Look, you know, we're going to have to go step by step. General Assembly is the General Assembly, and you know, I don't see significant changes going through the General Assembly. I think what the General Assembly is going to do is going to look carefully at how we can make Virginians safer, and that is a worthy goal, and I support that goal. But I don't support undermining Second Amendment rights to do it. But we're going to make progress, and we're going to continue to work to make background checks better.
As our time runs down, I just want to get to talk about your daughter. You were telling us before we came on the show that your daughter, who shows up in your campaign ads very well, lovely young woman. Tell me the story about how she has been involved in your campaign.
Yeah, well, it's not just the ads. She graduated from college on December 15 last year and came to work for me. And being good parents and good employers, she graduated on the 15th. We gave her Sunday the 16th off. And we hit the road on Monday the 17th. And she has logged about 85,000 miles as my driver.
Wow.
And she's been a great companion. It's been awesome to have my daughter sitting next to me, a 22-year-old woman traveling the state to bounce ideas off of during the course of this campaign.
Wow, that's impressive.
Win or lose, what a great lifetime experience you've had here. That's fantastic.
For me, it's been great. For her, I think it probably proves there is such a thing as too much father-daughter time.
But it's so funny. You often hear people railing against politicians hiring their family members. I can't believe they hired, their daughter or their wife for the campaign. If I were running for office, I would want my family around me. I trust them. So it makes sense to me.
Well, it's been great traveling with her, and believe me, she's not been extravagantly paid, and she's earned every single dollar she's
not
made.
feathering the nest there, huh?
Well, right. Mark Obenshain wants to be the next Attorney General of the Commonwealth of Virginia. We thank you so much for coming by.
It's great to be here with you.
Thanks for wearing
so much.
this great Halloween costume, dressed as a ninja head to toe. He really looks amazing.
He's really in the spirit.
I'm glad this is radio.